Okay, is the recording good? Is the recording good? Is it going? Hey, listen, we're doing no edits this time, okay? I'm sorry, but I can't help it. You know, I feel lazy today. As you can see, I'm a little bit, what's the word? Scraggly. I'm a little bit, I'm chilling. You know how it goes. We ain't got no structure on this channel. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, what is going on, Kingdom? What is going on, guys? I'm here. I'm on the camera. I'm back. I just kind of want to talk to y'all for a little bit. I just want to talk, you know. I've been doing a lot of stuff, working on a lot of things, all this stuff. I want to make this like a reflection video, something where I could just like spew out some of the knowledge that's like just soaking in my head, you know, that I feel like as I'm walking on the path that God has for me, I just feel like I'm just gaining this. And kind of just sitting here today, I feel like it's just kind of been like there's like this feeling of like I've been progressing and growing, and it's kind of bottling in me a little bit, like I need to put it out somewhere. So I want to be able to talk to y'all a little bit, you know. I have the hat on, shout out, you know, Mario and all that. I have the hat on because, well, my hair looks crazy. You can kind of already, you can see it anyways, but whatever. So I just want to talk today. I just want to talk to y'all. I've been working on, like I already said a million times over, something big, something that's like, whatever. I've been working on all this stuff for months. And I really want to just, you know, I want to put this out there, but it's just going to take some time. So anyways, I just want to talk for a little bit. Talk about my life, something like growth. Not really as in like what specifically happened to me, but I just want to talk about some of the lessons. This video wasn't very structured. There isn't like a, you know, oh, this topic to this topic and how they kind of mesh together. No. We're going to be talking about two different kind of like topics that go around here and there that I see. And, I'm just kind of going to be talking about these two topics that I've been learning about, that I feel that God has been showing me some of the lessons on them and how I could grow for myself. And yeah, I just kind of want to do that today. So I want to do this, yeah, just being real. I want this to kind of be more of like a, I don't know if I want to say tough love type of video, but I want to be like pretty direct with this one. You know, I make a lot of videos where I'm showing love, and I'm also a very empathetic person, and a lot of that, you know, I really do represent that strongly, but I also want to be able to be real, direct, and straightforward, because there's always a time and place for that too, you know what I'm saying? So we got to do both. So today I just want to talk about these two different topics, and I'm not going to waste too much time, you know, but yeah, just be on the lookout for what I'm doing, because it's all crazy, and yeah, you know, just a lot of important stuff, a lot of important. As you can see, I have a new camera too. I have a new camera right now. And this thing cost me a fortune, so this thing better, hold on, this thing working good, right? This thing better be working good. I'm just checking. Okay, yep, alright. I'm just making sure, because this thing right here, this thing cost me a fortune, so if the video messes up, bro, I'm gonna be real, I'm gonna be like, really? So anyway, so I got two topics to be talking about. And the first one that I want to get into, just right now, just direct, just straight up, is, life expectations and gratitude. So this is one thing that I've sort of been analyzing. I've been trying to really grow and get like a closer relationship with God. I really have been trying to do that. Just because, I mean, not just because I've been going through stuff, but also I just think it's important, and I've had more time to really soak in like trying to improve in my spiritual life and with my mental and the strategies I want to take going forward into this purpose that God has given me, and working with God and praying and doing these things. And I ain't perfect. Trust me, you know, I've been messing up, but I'm working and I'm walking on this path. No, come on. No. My bad. Hold up. Sometimes you just gotta drown out the noise. So anyway, I've been doing that. And one of the things that I feel like I've had to learn about, whether it's from some of the people that I've been around, whether it's through some of the stuff that I've seen, I noticed, because we're in a new day and age, and we're in a very big and important space, a very, like, this is a very important time for a lot of people's lives, whether it's people that I'm around or anything. It's a lot of people. It just feels like an important time right now, 2025. It's been a bad, like, it's kind of been a really rough and bad couple of years for a lot of people, like the past years. Whether it's because of, obviously, we know, you know, the pandemic and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. Or if it just has to do with, like, it's been a rough time. Like, I feel like a lot of people have been going through it, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just my circle, I don't know. But it's been hard, bro. These past years have been hard. And I think that there's a lot of hope. There's a lot of hope going around right now. There's a lot of hope and a lot of faith for something better, right? And I think that that's justified, and that's strong, and that's something that we have to look forward to, is trying to improve ourselves as a society, trying to improve ourselves in the relationships and connections that we have with people, trying to do these things. And you know, if you're a person who's been thinking of those things and been working on that path for a long time, at least for me, I know that God has kind of made that impossible for a reason, because God has been wanting to show me how hard it is and the difficulties that it is when it comes to making relationships and watching out, looking for people that might have bad intentions and not having anything against them, but praying for them and understanding there's a form of distance I need to keep, because what I have right now I need to protect, and I need to not what positive things are happening if I choose to walk in a situation to where I am closely associating myself with somebody who clearly has the intentions of stabbing my back, right? So these are some of the things that I've been learning and seeing, and it's just been like that a lot. Like, it hasn't been, I'm not saying that that's it, because I got people that I'm close with that I love and I always have loved. These are my close people, my close friends, family, all that. But I'm saying a lot of the newer relationships that I've made, stuff like that has happened. And whether it comes down to just friends, associates, or even if it's more, whatever, right? It's just it's always turned out that way every single time. You know what I'm saying? I know you feel my pain with that. I know you do. I know you feel it. So, what I'm saying with that is, right, life expectations and gratitude. I see a lot of people that are followers of Christ, right, that we have been speaking so much about. I see blessings and I see abundance in your future. I see your name being written on documents. I see you becoming a millionaire. I see you becoming rich. I see you having a big house, nice cars. I see you being famous. Hold up. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. Let's slow it down a little bit. Now, what I'm saying with that, right, is I remember, right, and this is somebody that I've been sort of studying here and there. Rest in peace, DMX, right? And DMX is somebody that I've sort of been here and there watching and studying his videos. And one of the things I remember him saying real shortly before he passed away was he said, we got to remember what's important. We have to remember what's actually and really important. When it comes to us as children of God, we have to remember what's really important when it comes to these things, right? Number one, we have to understand we have blessings already. All right, and whether that comes down to, the food we eat and the water and the things, everything like that. But even the difficulties are forms of blessings, right, for us. But we also got to remember what's really important, and what really is important when it comes to what God has given us in this world and what we can achieve and grow. We have to understand on a spiritual perspective and on a spiritual level and on a heartfelt level, what's more important is the relationships and the connections that we make without just strong forms of intention, right? Whether we say we want to make a connection with somebody because we want to get rich and they're a good connection for money, or whether they're a good connection for this or that or a marriage and all these things. Why do you want to get married? I just want you to think and reflect on those things. What makes you want to get married so bad, right? What makes you want to do that? What is your intention for that? Do you want to not feel lonely? So you're watching these videos where people are speaking about these things. And I'm not saying that that shouldn't be something that you want. Again, the Bible does say that God will give us the desires of our heart. And that comes down to as long as they are from Him, right? Because we do gain desires from the enemy. But God places desires upon our hearts. And I remember somebody saying this. He places them upon our hearts because He wants to give them to us. But we have to remember something real quick. What are your intentions? What is the heart behind your desires and your intentions and your actions? What is the heart behind that? Do you just want to not feel lonely? Right? Do you want help? It's okay to want help. I think all of us, we all need that. And we all desire that. That's okay to look for in a relationship. But do you want to not feel lonely? Do you want for somebody to be able to pay for you? You know what I'm saying? Do you want for somebody to, let's be real for a second here. We need to be honest with ourselves and think about when it comes down to searching for blessings, especially because, 2025, it's a new year. Yeah, it is. And I've seen a lot of people going crazy about this. Look, I'm going to be real. Let's not idolize numbers. You know what I'm saying? Let's not do that, because God's plan is God's plan, whether it's 2024, 2025, 2035, 2055. You know what I'm saying? God's plan is God's plan regardless. We have to remember that. God's plan is God's plan regardless. It does not change. Does not change the year. Whatever stated in biblical principle, that does not change what Jesus did for us. That does not change. These things do not change just because the year is changing. Understand what I'm saying? So I'm not even focused as much on that. I understand this New Year and that's cool because now we're like, okay, we're gonna start doing all these new resolutions and new things, bro. I don't think that. I don't like. This is one thing I don't think, right? Because I say, God puts desires on our hearts. I don't think God waits until 2025 and then all of a sudden He's washing desires like onto your heart. You know what I'm saying? We're creating these things ourselves, and we have to understand that life could end anytime. Remember that, number one. And what I mean by that is our life on this planet, on right here, this could end at any time. So let's not get too caught up in the numbers and the years, because look, it could be the first day of the whole year and you die. You know what I'm saying? You die. So we have to remember this. Walking in the plan and the purpose that God has for us is so much more than these things that we have. They're material things, again, with big houses and money. And I understand these things. Look, we need money to survive in this society. We need that. I understand that. That's real. But we also have to understand and remember what is important. When it comes to our prayer life, when it comes to our connection with God, we have to remember what is important. What is important. Let me make sure the camera here, I'm just making sure, you know what I'm saying? The camera's going, okay. So, we have to remember what is important. That's number one. You know what I'm saying? And not get so caught up in some of these other things that we want so bad. Whether it's just because it's a new year or whether it's just because we've always wanted it and we're still going for it. Just remember your intentions. Look into your heart. Remember, keep your soul attached to your body. And what I mean by that is allow for yourself to be able to analyze yourself and reflect upon yourself and your own intentions when it comes down to what you desire. Because it's very easy for us to pray to God for a relationship, right? And the reason that we're doing it is because we want for a relationship to make us feel good, feel special, or to give us what we want all the time. Understand something. That's not love. That's not how love works. That's not how relationships work. And you see how we will switch up on people. There's people who switch up on people real quick once they realize that God put them in this spot, in this space, and it didn't work out because they had the wrong intentions for what they wanted. And then you switch up on God afterwards. We're being real here. I told you I was going to be straightforward, right? And it's real easy to put yourself in that spot because you're so caught up in your own desires. I know that's the easy way to live, is to be caught up in your own desires and what you want. But one thing I will say is that when you are granted and given a purpose from God, that is when it is bigger than yourself. Number one, God is bigger than all of us, and it is from God that purpose that He gives us, and it is for His plan and His purpose. It is for Him, and at the same time, it is also in a form of supporting the people that we have around us. There's a form of selflessness. Don't focus so much on yourself sometimes. I'm not saying that's not important, even with me, but sometimes I think I focus on myself, yes, to maintain and be able to keep a stable form of sanity for myself, but I also focus on myself because if I'm not stable and if I'm not good and if I don't keep myself correct, then I won't be able to do that for nobody else. You understand what I'm saying? So please, I speak this to anybody watching this right now. Please understand and be real with yourself for a second. Let's be real for a second. What are your intentions? Why do you want so many of these things now that we're in a new year? What is it? When you could look at this one as 2026. Not because I want views out of it, but you know what I'm saying? It could be something. 2026, 2030. Look, maybe it's be 2030 in this video. You see this or something. You know what I'm saying? Think. Be real with yourself. Reflect. Why is it that you want all of these things? I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to want. I'm not saying that, but why? Just remember, why is it that you want all these things? Because once God gives them to you, there's no turning back once you have them. And then you have to go back and think about, oh man, maybe my intentions weren't so good here, and now this isn't fulfilling me like I wanted it to. And you can always go, well, okay, I said there's no turning back, but you can always run back to God and cry out. And to be honest, then, what then? Are you going to keep chasing things after that? Because God saves you and God saves all of us every time. But to be honest, the stains will still be there sometimes too. The stains will still be there just because God's given us that lesson. Like, you should have reflected on yourself first. You know? So, before you sit here and pray for all this money, pray for this big house and this fancy food or this fancy car or this beautiful marriage and this perfect marriage, before you do all of that, think for a second as to what are your intentions. Because I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to just say this. I like be scrolling on YouTube and I'll see it, and then sometimes I'll just scroll right past it because I'm like, you know, I understand what we're doing here, but this is so much bigger than me too. We gotta have gratitude. Let's be real here. There's people that got nothing, bro. There's people that have nothing. There is people right now that have zero of cents in their bank account, or have none, or don't even have a bank account, and are sleeping on the streets with no food, no nothing, no shelter, no people around them, nothing. There's people that have nothing. So before you sit here and get so focused and caught up on how perfect you want your life to be, and how picture perfect and pretty you want for your life to be, and your marriage to be, and your next house, and your next whatever, before you do that to yourself, think there's people that have nothing. You know what I'm saying? So let's not get so caught up in that, because it's bigger than just us. And at the end of the day, let's be real here too. Hey, I say this, and this is something that I just sort of, it's always come to me, right? When the time comes, right, where, okay, yeah, you ask for all these things, all of this comes, and these are what you ask for from a guy, and you get them and all these things. Hey, listen, once that casket drops, once you're no longer breathing in this world, once it's all gone, I'm not saying to say chase worldly love, but listen, once those people that you knew are surrounded by your casket, what are they going to say about you? What are they going to say? Are they going to say, dang, he was good, dang, he/she was such a follower. They really were trying to make it, and I mean a follower of Christ. They were such a follower of Christ. They were trying to make a difference in their community. Their intentions, their heart was, there was so much just love that they had for the people around them. Or are they going to sit there and say, man, he was greedy, and God gave him everything that he desired, and he got nothing out of it? Because God was trying to teach him a lesson. He or her a lesson, and they just wouldn't listen. So let's be real with ourselves for a second. What do you want all this for? What do you want all of this for? Why? And there's nothing wrong with wanting, but just think. Dang, my voice is a little squeaky, but that's passion. You know what I'm saying? That's purpose. What do you want? Why do you want it? Think both of those questions. Yes, what do you want? Okay, but why? You know? I think for myself, because I try to think like this, right? Again, you know, checking. I'm just checking to make sure my storage too. I gotta be smart with my storage. But I try to think sometimes, right? Boom, right? I would love to be able to have a good, positive, stable relationship. And by that, I mean, yeah, like, man and woman, you know, form a marriage as time goes, be able to do that, build a family. Yeah, we as people, we want that, but why do I want that? I got to think about that for a second now. Can I live with myself? Can I live with it being just me and God for a while? I mean, that's how it's been, so it is what it is. But why? Why are you so caught up in that? So I try to think to myself, why do I want that? And I try to always remember and maintain this, because it also comes down with forms of biblical principles and having a person there as like a form. I remember hearing somebody say before, right, that I don't know the exact verse. I really don't. I'll be real. I'll be honest. I can be honest. But that God gives you a helper, and you know, no person is made to be alone, and these things that it states in the Bible and all these things, right? And that's good. I think that that's real, and I think that God gives us that desire on our hearts for a reason. But just remember, is it because you're lonely? Is it because you want somebody to make you feel good physically? Do you want somebody to make you, give you what you want? Because I know a lot of people that I've ran into where, because it wasn't what they, and I'm not just saying whether it has to do with me or anything, just to do with people in general, other people that they've known. Just because it wasn't what they wanted, they walked away real quickly. So, and that's switching up. So all I'm saying is, remember, bro, what do you want this for? Reflect and look at yourself. No, I cannot emphasize that enough, because that's how people become fake. That's how people become switch ups. That's the words. That's what it is. I mean, shoot, it's like forms of slang, but let's be real. When you call people fake, when you say they're a switch up, when you say they're a snake, when you say they're a rat, you know what I'm saying? People become these ways because they ain't get what they want. So don't become that type of a person. Pray for the people that are like that, but don't become that because you wanted this so bad. Freaking dogs, man. Hey, chill out. Chill out. Come on. Dang, bruh. Anyway, so yeah. Think about that. Just think about that, please. Alright? Next, okay? The next topic I want to get into, I think that was real. And this kind of ties in with that topic. So I just want to get into this as well. Okay, just checking, making sure I got it. Alright. So the next topic that I got at hand here is love and relationships. And I'm talking about them relationships where it's real, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to, this is going to be your partner. This is what you, let's talk about it, because we're getting into, yeah, everybody's so caught up and we're getting into a new year, right? Oh, 2025. So let's think about it, because, hey, listen, this is what they call the cuffing season, I guess, and things like that. And it's a lot of, you know, it's a lot of people that's really, that's looking for that. I can tell. You ever see social media? If everybody that's single, every person that's single, oh man, I can't believe I'm not in a relationship right now. Oh. And look, I get it, bro. I get it, because I put myself in some dumb situations off of love. You know what I'm saying? You a sucker for love. So listen, let's get into it. So look, and I'm not I'm not judging people. I'm not being like, oh, sucker for love. I'm not doing all that. I'm just being funny. But so love and relationships. I'll kind of ask this again. What do you want out of it? What is the reason? What is the point? I remember hearing about, God rest his soul, Etika. I always am somebody that supports him, you know what I'm saying? I always will. You know, we passed away, and, you know, we can talk about that, but that's not what we're here to talk about right now. But I'm going to talk about something that I remember he taught me as a live stream. One of the things that I remember him saying and speaking about, why I felt like he had a good heart behind what he was saying here, right? I felt like there was good intentions behind what he was saying. He wasn't super, like, whatever you say, religious or all these things, or God and Jesus and all that, but he was very incredibly intelligent. And I remember he was saying this with a good heart, and when we speak things out with a good heart and good intentions, then good flows from it. So I remember him saying before, like, there was a method called the push-pull method, was what it was called. And it was about, when it comes down to speaking with somebody, it could be a friend, it could be an associate, or it could be somebody that you want to be your lover, right? And there has to be a form of maintain of push and pull. And what I mean by that is, when you say push, it means that you joke around with them, right? This is all going to tie into what I'm going to say, what I'm talking about here. You push them away by making jokes about them sometimes, being funny with them, having a connection with them, making a form of a friendship with them, right? While at the same time, the pull is in showing them how much you love being around them, showing them how much you love, like, it complimenting them, you know, buttering them up, right? All that type of stuff, right? Okay. So, when we say these things, the reason why you want to maintain a form of that, whether it's in any connection or relationship, and I think we as humans, when we're looking for that, we naturally do it. When it comes down to friendships, we naturally will be somebody's friend by joking about them, but at the same time showing them love and support, right? That's what friends do. So why can't people do that in relationships? Because sometimes we get so caught up and paranoid in wanting to be in a relationship and having love and relationships so bad that we only pull. And there's just expectation. I want this, I want that. Oh, I want this. Is a self-serving portion and perspective that comes a lot of the time from really, really wanting somebody. Right? To the point where you just can't let them go. If, God forbid it happens, you just can't let them go. And it's like, bro, what are you in it for? If you can't let them go, if you can't live with yourself, then what are you in that situation for? Why are you letting them basically dictate your self-confidence? And when they're not there, you're just like, I can't live my life, I can't do anything. And I'm not putting nobody down, because I understand that depression is real, bro. Depression is real. I know it. Because of depression, I was in a mental hospital, okay? I get it. I understand that. But why we cannot be allowing, and I understand because I've done this before, but we cannot be allowing for relationships, for people. Okay, we good? Okay, so like I said, before my camera just messed up, I think it's overheating. I guess my room's a little hot. I mean, maybe that's the problem. Man, should I even have got that camera? It's not even working right. I'm using my phone now. But anyways, when I say stop crying over relationships, I mean as in, like, stop pouting. If you gotta cry, if you need to let some tears down, brother, sister, let your tears down. Do it. Because you know what I'm saying? We all go through pain. We all go through struggle. I understand that. That's what it is. But don't pout. Don't get caught up in pouting and getting all caught up in that situation where it's like you're allowing for it to make you feel so bad about, oh man, I just deserve and need a relationship. I can't. Don't let it make you more greedy. You know what I'm saying? Let's understand that it's a process then that we have to walk with God when we have that type of mentality where we feel, and I understand because a lot of it comes from pain where it's like, you know, whether maybe you ain't have no siblings or maybe you struggled with connections with people in your life. I get it. That's how life, that's how it goes at times. And that's something where we need to be able to understand and have love for each other and understanding each other, right? But that means now that that God made that happen for us for a reason because we couldn't control it. So now we got to be able to walk with God and he's going to show us what that means for us. How is that going to grow us and develop us? That's made me very like loving to people. Like I appreciate relationships a lot more because of it. But I've had to continue to walk with God in that. And I have more to continue to walk with God in. Because straight up, like when it comes to say love and relationships, if that wasn't the case, then I'd be in one. You know what I'm saying? But I don't need to be in one, or else I'd be in one. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's hard. You just wish you had somebody to just chill with, build with. That's what I wish. I wish I had somebody that was real serious about what they were doing and their walk with God, and now I'm serious with mine, and we could be like, let's just do this. Let's build something together. Let's grow something. Let's change the world, yo. Let's do this. Let's like work together. You know, two brains are better than one. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go. But that's just not there. And you know, that's what it's. I wish, bro. I wish. And you might find relationships. You might get in one and then realize, you know, I mean, it doesn't always have to be you leave a relationship because they didn't give you what you want. Sometimes it comes down to just, it wasn't very Christ-like, you know, and you realize that, and you start to understand that more and more as you get older, and it's like, okay, it's time for me to start taking things more seriously. But first, I need to walk away from this. You understand what I'm saying? So what I say from that is, just think about what your intentions are when it comes to wanting love in a relationship. And at the same time, don't get so caught up in playing the game. I understand, I get how the game goes when it comes to this. The game, you know what I'm saying, the game, where it's like, oh, you got spit game. Oh, you got to play this. You got to play this role like you so. Like, come on, bro, girl, whatever. Come on, you're better than that. You know what I'm saying? God made you who you are. And if that person don't love you for who you are, then they can kick rocks. Straight up. They can kick rocks and keep it moving. Because at the end of the day, bro, you got to love yourself. You got to love God. And you got to be real with yourself, bro. And say, I don't need this. I'm not going to let somebody back me down like that. Because God didn't make me that way to just allow for myself to just get back down off of the fact that I'm so caught up in this. That's not what God wants for us. When it comes to relationships and love, is for us to get played. You know what I'm saying? So if a person is a player like that, don't even waste your time. Do your thing. Do you. And you'll find somebody. You will. It's going to take time, though. And if it takes time, that's cool. But it'll happen. And that's the hard part. Because I know a lot of people say that. I know that's the biggest cliche thing. Is like, it'll happen. Just give it some time. I know that sucks to hear. I hate hearing it too. It sucks. But how much can we say that it's not the reality? It's what it is. And, you know, I try to think, dang, I mean, clearly, I think I have a solid, decent perspective on this stuff. But God still don't want me in that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, don't cry over it. And by that, I mean, don't pout. If you got to cry some tears, do it. But be real with yourself. Don't stop being real with yourself just because it's hard. Don't switch up on yourself or other people just because it's hard. But especially when it comes to that, don't switch up on yourself just because it's hard all of a sudden. And you're going to say, oh, no, I don't need me. I need a partner to make me happy. Even if you're not saying that vocally, that's probably what you're thinking. I've seen some videos, and I'm not judging, I promise. But some people that are just like, they really do love God. They really love God. But it's just, you could tell they're like just the desperation Come on, man. Like, just gotta, like, we gotta be real with ourselves, bro. We gotta be real with ourselves, man. I understand, like, oh, love, this, love, 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 love. It will come, man. It will. But, and it's, we're always gonna feel it. We're always gonna feel it. But that doesn't mean we always have to give into it. You know what I'm saying? I remember somebody else saying this. I don't exactly remember who, but it was a preacher that said before. Oh, no, it was, Johnny. Frick. That dude, the dude who was, he was, like, in really, like, the rough life, like, gang life at one point, and he really is giving his life to God, right? I remember him saying before, just because we have the thoughts that are given to us from the enemy does not mean that we have to accept them. We don't have to. And sometimes this constant love, 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 love cycle is just thoughts from the enemy pressing upon us to lose our own confidence in Christ. You understand what I'm saying? So we can't lose that. Just because we're getting thrown those thoughts. Just because you're getting thrown those thoughts don't mean that they're from God. That doesn't mean the desire isn't from God. But that He's not just going to give it to you when you want it. We got to not be selfish. You understand what I'm saying? Because God could give us whatever He wants. But then that would be a disservice to us. Because then we wouldn't learn anything no more. We wouldn't learn anything. And then once we haven't learned these things, then when we do get in a relationship, it's going to get screwed over. So we got to learn first. You understand what I'm saying? So be real about that. Be yourself. Be real. Don't get caught up in the game like everybody else gets caught up in when it comes to this stuff. Just be you. Work with God. Prayer. Just do that. I know that that's hard, but be you. Talk. You don't got to do all this extra stuff either. Like, you don't got to light no candles. You don't have to sit there and have this perfectly propped up Bible. Bro, just talk. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't be reading the Bible, but just talk to God first. If talk to God, bro. Just start it off just like it's your homie. And you can do that the entire time. That's what you're supposed to do, because that's what I do. Not just like he's like a homie, like, oh, he's not, he's just like, that's all he is. Like, nah, God is above all of us. God is the Father. You understand what I'm saying? But with the Father, we need to have a relationship and a connection. So, yeah. That's what I have to say about those two topics. Don't get so caught up in what you want sometimes, man. Again, me being real and me being honest. Don't get so caught up in what you want. Get more caught up in what God wants for you. And, at the end of the day, though we're not always going to feel like it. I remember again hearing, you're in a good place when the desires of your heart are aligned with what God's desires are for you. Right? And even if you don't feel as much like it, sometimes we can't just control how we feel, but where our mind is at, how we strategize, that's when we got to be real and be like, okay, this is the way to think. And I pray that I find somebody that thinks that way too, because I don't got time for none of the bull crap. I don't got time for none of it no more. My life is short. I'm too mature for that, bro. I'm too grown for that. All that playing games and being all funny, I don't got no time for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and relationships. God didn't make relationships like some pretty freaking candle, some pretty cupcake party. That's not That's not life. Relationships can be, tough. That's life. That's how you really love somebody, when it's tough. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be strong for that person, bro. That doesn't mean be overly tough and be all No. Show them love and show them care, show them affection. But when it gets tough, you gotta be strong for that person. You understand what I'm saying? Please catch that, please. That's what I'm here to say. Please, just. And let me make sure this is rolling, too. I done did that like a million times over, but you already know how it goes at this point in time. Yeah, okay, I'm just making sure it's rolling. Yeah, so, please do that. These are some of the things that have been put on my heart over time. I could tell whatever I think the enemy's really trying to stop me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was really recording. I was really recording with the camera and it didn't work. It worked for 20 some minutes, but you know what happens? I only spent a lot of money, okay? let's just say, you know, a couple. I'm not even gonna. Yeah. Anyway, um, yeah. Please just be smart about that, man. Be smart about what people say too, and they joke about. Okay. Like, there's so many different layers to it that you have to peel. It's like an onion, man. Like, think about, like, okay, what do they say? Are they joking about certain junk? Even if it's like, okay, it's cool to joke around your homies and your friends and all that stuff. But if they're joking around you and you haven't even known them for a year and they're joking around you with certain jokes, like, things like that. Like, think about their desires. How much do they love money? How much do they love money? Do they love money? Like, love it? Come on. More than you. Because once that money's gone, they just might leave. Okay, there's that. Think about how much they idolize people's appearances. Oh my God, please do that. You know, let's be honest. Let's be completely transparent. Like, no, I don't even care anymore. Let's be completely transparent. Since I know this is rolling, right? Some people, just off of people's race, will completely over-sexualize that person because they're that race. Just because they're, you know, okay, like anything. Like, just because somebody's black or Asian or they're mixed or whatever. As somebody that's mixed, you know, I get it. You know, people, oh, you're mixed. Oh, you're so, like, come on. I'm so much more than that. You're degrading other people by doing that, just so you know. Just being real with you, brother, sister, you're degrading people. Or folks that are Asian, like, in the culture is so, I respect the culture, I love the culture, it's amazing. There's so much respect in it, there's so much depth, there's so much, like, but there's so much expressiveness. There's a lot of expressiveness, like in general Asian culture. A lot of expressiveness, whether it's in the products or whether it's in the things you watch and things like that, right? There's some really, really intriguing stuff about it. But some people seriously over-sexualize that stuff. And it's like you really have got to have such a degrading mind to look at somebody and just think that they're like this amazing, like this god to you just because they're Asian. That goes for any race of people. But just generally speaking, that's so degrading towards Asian people. You don't even want to get to know the person. You just think that they're pretty. Like, what? Come on. Like, you do better for yourself. That's degrading to you. You can't respect a person off their personality. You just are so caught up in their looks and their culture. Come on. Because, I mean, you can't respect the culture, but don't sit here and treat them like there's some god, because, you know what I'm saying? Same thing when it's anything. Any culture, bro. Hispanic culture, black culture, whatever it is. Please don't do that. And there's so many people that do that. Please watch for that. Watch what they post. Watch what they say. Watch how they think. Watch what I'm telling you, watch. Be smart. Please watch these people. Because you could really, really, really like somebody a lot and want and think that there's somebody that'll be great compatibility for building and growing a relationship, and their heart is not there. They could speak, a person could speak Jesus' name 1,000 times, but look at the fruits of their spirit. Okay? Please. And that comes, because I'll talk about, like, again, I'll talk about God and I'll talk about Jesus because we need to. We need to. But a part of that too is talking about what's happening right now. So again, how much do they look at social media? What do they post? What do they post as well? Like, if they post, are they post again? Like I said, bro, there's been people I think were like, man, like I thought were like the greatest people. You know what I'm saying? Not the greatest isn't putting them on a pedestal, but isn't like these little chair handle things, but like isn't like. I thought they would be, you know, like, I thought they were really cool. Be cool friends, at least. You know what I'm saying? Be a cool friend. And all they do, especially with some college culture and things, bro, all they do is just over-sexualize people based off of their race or who they are or whatever. Or based off of a person's fame or based off of how much money. But especially with the culture stuff, bro. Please watch for that. Because that stuff that's demonic, bro. That's demonic. That is demonic. For you to sit there and just become all hard eyes. Like, I get it. You know, some people have, like, you know, desires, types, and, you know, you want somebody to look a certain, you know, okay. But are you really going to put that on the biggest pedestal there? Like, they have to, if they have to be that, they have to look that for you to, then that's wrong. And you really got to check yourself straight up. Straight up. You got to check yourself then. You know what I'm saying? I think people, like, they say everybody has, like, a type, and I don't know. I mean, I've really been attracted to people of all different, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for me to really, I don't know. I don't know. But even then, if that's there, that should not be priority. That should not. Because then that's how you get in a situation with somebody where you went with them because they look cute, they come from this culture, they talk like this, they look. And then when you end up getting in a spot where they end up being horrible people, they don't care about you. Shoot, maybe they even abuse you, bro. Let's be real. They just treat you like garbage. And you decided to get with that person just because of their looks. Check yourself. Please check yourself. Please. I'm not saying it to dish you. I'm saying it because you're going to screw yourself over. Okay? Please. You're going to. Even if you don't see it, bro, the way that... And I'm not saying that isn't, God puts you in the crazy... I don't know. I don't always understand fully how God works. Because I'm not God. You understand what I'm saying? But God does put us in spots where he knows our heart the entire time. So when he puts you in a spot where he sees that you're only getting in this situation, in this relationship, because this person's cute or they're from this whatever, he's not going to let it prosper. He's just not. I promise you that. I promise you with everything, bro, that he's not going to let that prosper. Because he's not going to screw you over like that. God is not, as long as you're walking on the path that God has for you, God is not going to allow for you to just like degrade yourself like that. To where you only look and idolize people for that. Okay? Please understand that, please. Because there's so many people I really wish I could say that to. You understand what I'm saying? So there's that. Bro, there's so many layers with love and relationships. There's so many layers. It just can keep going on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And on. Till the wheels fall off. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah. But, that's it, really. We got to be real with each other here. We got to be real about love and relationships. I really feel like I made a big blueprint there. Just please understand those things. Don't get caught up in all this other stuff. Because you got to understand, there's reasons why it was different in different periods of time and things. And people be like, social media was not around as much. It wasn't around at all. Social media, all these expectations, all this stuff, bro. It's so... Again, so when I say lastly, just, bro, when it comes down to who you choose to like, because it's so easy to really like somebody and then, like, get caught up in, like, or not even focus on the signs. How much, when you talk about the celebrities to them, how do they treat it? You know what I'm saying? Do they care? Just because they're a celebrity? Oh, it's little signs like that. Do they get all excited over celebrities? Do they look at celebrities as bigger than other people? You know what I'm saying? If they do, think about that for a moment. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Because them celebrities ain't above you. Them celebrities ain't above me. They ain't above nobody. They're just like all of us. I'm just like that celebrity. They're just like me. It's not me, again, some people are going to be like, oh, you're just trying to freaking boost yourself. Nah. Like, I'm saying, we're all human beings created by God. And at the end of the day, once that casket drops, it's no different. More people might be around one person than the others, but it's no different once it's all over. You understand what I'm saying? So please, think just keep that thought in mind. But yeah, that's it really. That's all I got to say. I'm not too, I don't know what I was even going to say. Yeah. Please just keep those things in mind. But look for love. I mean, don't look for love. I wouldn't say look for love. But don't be opposed to it, Don't be opposed to it, but watch the signs. Don't be opposed to love, but please watch the signs. And watch yourself. Look at yourself. What is your mind state like? What is your heart like? Then try and get an analysis on if you want to be with somebody else. What is their heart like? You understand what I'm saying? Check that. Check yourself and check them. Doesn't mean you have to check them as in, it got to be all aggressive. No. As in, like, do it from a distance. Just see, who is this person? How are they? And that should be what attracts you. You understand what I'm saying? That should be what attracts you, is the person they are. Not the way they look, not the color of their skin, not just their body. I'm not going to say that, you know, a person could have a healthy body and that's cool because that means they carry themselves well. That's cool, but that shouldn't be your priority. Understand what I'm saying? Just because they have a six pack does not mean that's the man God has for you. Just because she's got a, you know, she's got some, you know, whatever. I ain't even gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? Just because she's that does not mean that that's the woman that God has for you. Okay? Okay. So anyway, that's all I got to say. I'm gonna try and stitch this video together, put it out there, and yeah, I thank y'all for watching. I hope this taught y'all something. We gonna see. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.